Hello, my little triglets. So glad you could join me once again. All right, ready to get triggy with it. Ready, set, go. We are going to do section 3.7, and it's all about trig functions. Trig functions, they are either in degrees or radians. If we are in degrees, I want you to round to the nearest tenth. If we're in radians, we are going to take it out to 4 places. So the nearest 10,000th. So 4 places, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So the biggest thing you have to do is change the mode on your calculator before you hit the sine or cosine button, or tangent, or any of the other trig functions. That's the biggest mistake that happens is you're in degree mode, but you're supposed to be in radians, and you're getting the wrong answer. So let's try this. Let's say, what's the difference between the sine of 250 degrees and the sine of 250? The first one is in degrees. Try it on your calculator right now. It should be in degree mode already. It should be negative 0.9397. But if you are in the radian mode and you take 250 and hit your sine button with that, you get negative 0.9705. So it's a different answer. The way you can tell if it's in radians is if there's no degree symbol up here. So if there's none, then you're in radians. That's a nothing thing there. All right, so that's the biggest thing. Make sure you're in the correct mode. So let's say I want you to find the sine of pi over 8. Is that degree or is it radian? Well, is there a little degree symbol, the little circle? No. Then it's in radians. So you on your calculator, you have a DRG button. This is degree, this is radian, and this is gradians, which is a button we will not be using. Um, I don't even know if I've ever used it. I think it's for some engineering things. So the DRG button, that will help you change in between degrees and radians. If you might have something else, I don't know what other calculators might have. Let's say we wanted to find the sine of 1/8 or pi over 8 here. So which one is it? Well, there's no little degree symbol, so we got to make sure we're in radians. Try it on your calculator right now and see if you get 3827. All right. Now remember that secant, cosecant, and cotangent are all evil. Evil, evil. I can put little evil eyes on the V here. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, it won't let me. Well, for crying out loud, I try to have some fun and it won't let me. So, if you have evil functions, they don't have buttons on your calculator. So instead of secant, you're going to have to do cosine, and then you're going to have to hit the reciprocal button. Instead of cosecant, you're going to have to use the sine button and then hit your reciprocal. And instead of cotangent, you use the tangent button and use your reciprocal. So if I want to know the secant of 35 degrees, I really take the cosine of 35 degrees. And let's see what that is. Cosine of 35 is, just a second, I had it in the wrong mode, 0.8192. 0.8192, but that's not the right answer because I need the reciprocal of it. I really want the secant. So I hit my x to the -1 button, and I should get 1.2208. So that is the correct answer. So use that reciprocal button whenever you have one of the evil twins. All right, the next part. Sometimes you know the trig value, but you want to find theta. You want to find the angle. So let's say I have the sine of some angle is 0.5. What is that angle? What angle is 0.5? Well, on your circle, let's think about the circle. 0.5 can be considered 1/2. On our circle, pi over 6 or 30 degrees has a sine of 1/2 because we have 1 to 2 to root 3 at that spot. So it's 1/2. It's the short side. But the problem is we also have 1/2 over here at 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6 also has the sine of 1/2. If you want it on your calculator, you can do the inverse button to find theta. The problem with that is it only gives you one answer. You have to find the other answer. Now, most kids, when they first start doing this, forget that there are two answers. They just do it on the calculator, find one, and go on. So what I do is I make a little alien out of the theta symbol. When you want alien angles, there are always two answers. So the two antennas are going to help you remember that there are two answers. Okay, so draw the alien angle. It does help. It helps remember that there are two answers. All right, let's do a few problems here. Let's do if theta is between 0 and 360, find theta if the cosine of theta equals 0.9266. All right, first of all, are we in the degree mode or are we in the radian mode? Look for the clues. Your clue is right here. That's going to tell you what mode you're in. So keep your calculator in degrees, and then you need to do the inverse cosine button. So second function inverse cosine of 0.9266. Do that on there and see what you get. I got 22.1 degrees for theta. Okay, so there's one answer, but remember, we're finding theta, which is an alien angle. So we need to find the other one. Now this is where you have to really pay attention. 22.1 degrees is about here. Cosine is positive in this direction. Fourth quadrant is the other place where cosine is going to have this value, 9266. And it's going to be the mirror image of 22.1. 22.1 degrees that way, 22.1 degrees that way, but I'm not going to say negative 22.1. I'm actually going to go this way and say 360 minus 22.1 to find that other angle. So that other angle is 337.9. Okay, so these are the two answers for this one question. And you can test it. Just take the cosine of 22.1, cosine of 337.9, and just see if they both come out to 0.9266. Okay, but you're going to find two answers, and they're going to be mirror images of each other. This is 22.1. This is in the fourth quadrant, 337.9. All right, let's try another one of those. Let's say that the sine of theta is negative 0.6009. Okay, and the directions are still the same between 0 and 360, so we're still in the degree mode. So I want to do inverse sine of negative 0.6009, and I got negative 36.9 degrees. Now, the problem is with that, in our directions, it said this, between 0 and 360. This is not between 0 and 360. So this is where we, remember when we learned coterminal? That's what we're doing here. Negative 36.9 is about here. I need to find its coterminal angle in the positive direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 360 to it, and that should get me 323.1 degrees. Does that seem logical in the fourth quadrant that this is 321 point, or 323.1 degrees? Seems like it to me because this is 360, so 323 makes sense. Now we have to find the mirror image, but this time we're talking about sine. Sine is your y value. That's your up and down. So I need to find the mirror image on the other side. So over here is the mirror image for the sine. So if this is 323, now I can't just subtract 180. I can't do 360 now because it's not coterminal anymore. But what we can do is know that, okay, I went through 36.9 down from the x-axis. If I go 36.9 down, whoops, from this axis, then I can do that. If this is 180, I can just add the two and I will get what this position is. So 180 plus 36.9 is 216.9. And that makes sense. It's past 180, but not quite to the bottom. This is 270. So that number makes sense. So you have to, there's no magic way to get the second one. You have to just use your brain, use your common sense, use your logic. Look at the picture, draw a picture. Okay. All right, a couple more things. We're almost done. All right, this part. What if I have an evil twin? Remember, they're evil for a reason. 4305. Okay, so cosecant is 1.4305. We've got our alien angle here. I don't have a button for cosecant. I do have a button for its twin. So I'm going to take the sine of theta. I'm going to change this into the sine. So basically, I just took the reciprocal of the left side. So I'm going to take the reciprocal of the right side to keep everything status quo. All right. So over here, maybe you can leave yourself a note. Take recip of both sides. Okay, so you do that. And so this 1.403 or 4306, if I take the reciprocal, I get 0.6990. And I still have sine over here. So now I do this like I did the last problems. I have inverse sine of 0.6990. We're still in degree mode. And I get 44.35 degrees. All right, that's the first one. Remember, we have alien angle here with two antennas. So 44.35 is about here. It's the sine value. So sine is your y. So I have to take the mirror image, which is going to be over here. So 44.35, 44.35 this way, and 44.35 that way. Well, if this is 180, how are we going to figure out what that angle is? Well, we're going to go backwards 44.35. So 180 minus 44.35, and I get 135. Well, we'll round to the nearest tenth, so 135.6. Okay, so again, there's no rhyme or reason for that second angle. You're going to have to just figure out where it is on the circle and then add or subtract or, move things one way or the other. Now, somewhere very large in your notes, you need to write this. Never, ever, sorry, I didn't mean to yell in your ear, flip theta. If you flip theta, remember theta's got the antennas. theta will be upside down and his antennas will be broken. So you don't want to do that. The alien angle would be very sad.